What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Talks Rubbish, and today I'm back with another interview. This time, I'm joined by another member of the Cultaholic crew, Mr. Owen. So how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Tom. I'm good. Thank you for having me on, mate. How are you?
I'm good. As I said in previous interviews, I've got to get used to doing the preamble and the preamble again.
I know, yeah. We've just had a nice little 5-minute chat there. I'm running a little bit late, so I was just getting all that sorted out and just making sure you're doing okay, having a good day. It's Friday night. Let's talk. Let's have a chat.
Yeah, this is what we said. I appreciate you doing this on a Friday night. At time of recording, this won't go up on a Friday, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But at time of recording, I appreciate you doing this on a Friday night. So, yeah.
Happy to do it, mate. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. Let's have a good chat. I've got a cup of tea here. I'm ready to go.
Fair enough. I've got some water and what have you. So what was I going to say? So if we take this back, a simple question to start off with, really. Were you a wrestling fan before you started with Cultaholic?
Yes. I have been a wrestling fan, Tom, pretty much all my life. I don't remember a time without wrestling in my life in some shape or form.
Okay.
Growing up, loved wrestling. As a kid, my two biggest passions were football and wrestling. Oh, he's breaking up. No, you're still there, Tom.
No, I've still got you.
So my biggest passions as a kid were football and wrestling, and usually, some kids grow out of wrestling, but for me, I just never grew out of it. I've always just been a fan, constantly.
So you've never had, you know how, I know Jack has publicly spoken about this.
Yeah.
That he dropped off of wrestling, and then the summer of punk was what brought him back. Have you never had a break?
Straight edge boy. There he is.
Is that the actual AEW shirt?
This is the new AEW CM Punk shirt. I got it very quick delivery. I was very surprised when it showed up.
I want it so badly.
They have a UK shop or a Euro shop. So if you want one, that's the best place to get it, other than shipping it to America.
Obviously, I shouldn't have asked you this in the interview, but if you wouldn't mind sending me the link, I'd appreciate it.
I can do that for you, Tom. I can send you the link.
Cool. But if we get back to you,
yes.
So what era of wrestling are we talking about? What's your start off point?
Starting off point. So I was born in 97, showing my age there. So I started watching consistently 2006, probably. I always watched wrestling beforehand, off and on as a kid, as a baby. But I really started to get into it in 2006. I remember the Reform DX being my jumping back in point, because I thought they were so cool. The coolest kids on the block, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, two old dads just having a laugh with the Spirit Squad. I thought it was amazing at the time. So that got me invested in watching on a regular basis in 06 time.
Okay. So do you remember how you got into wrestling originally?
Yeah. So my it runs in the family a little bit. My brother was a big wrestling fan. He's not so much these days. He's dropped off a lot.
Fair enough.
But my brother's 10 plus years older than me.
Oh, okay.
So he grew up in the Hulkamania era. So he had a lot of VHS tapes. He had a lot of wrestling figures. And as I was getting older, he was introducing them to me. And then eventually they all got passed down to me, all his figures, all his VHSs. I remember having SummerSlam 94 on VHS. One of the first wrestling shows I ever watched, and I absolutely loved it. And that was
94. Was that the match made in heaven?
No, this SummerSlam 94 was Brett versus Owen in the cage and Undertaker versus Undertaker. The two
yeah.
So
and basically because there's a lot of controversy around that show, isn't there? Of you had what is considered probably a campy angle, go on last.
Yeah.
And then you had, in my opinion, the best WWE cage match of all time go on second from last.
I think on paper, the idea. Don't forget, this is the early to mid 90s, so they were a bit out there with the storylines. I mean, this wasn't far removed from Papa Shango and stuff. So Undertaker versus Undertaker on paper was a really cool idea, but then they got in the ring and it didn't work out so well, did it, Tom?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. But I do agree with you, though. Brett versus Owen in the cage is one of the best cage matches of all time. Definitely.
As someone who and I've spoken about this in previous interviews, and it's not just going to be a conversation about me. I do apologise.
No, don't worry, mate.
Basically, I'm a Shawn Michaels guy. If someone says Brett Shawn Michaels, I say Shawn Michaels purely because I grew up on him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can appreciate what a good storyteller and that Bret Hart was.
Yes, definitely. I've grown to appreciate Bret a lot more as I've got older and watched more wrestling. If you were to ask me the same question, Shawn or Bret, I would also pick Shawn. Because again, I grew up watching Shawn. But I've definitely grown to appreciate Bret more over the years. He's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
so basically, going back to your original question, I've pretty much just always watched wrestling as a kid. Thanks a lot to my brother who passed a lot of it down to me from when he watched it as a kid.
Yeah. One thing I'm really curious about is you said that you haven't had your what we would call drop-off period yet. But have you had points where you were like, looking back now, how did you not drop off then? Or have you ever had times, or no, let me phrase it this way. Because it's your job, do you reckon you won't drop off? And if it wasn't your job, do you reckon you'd have dropped off by now?
If I'm being totally honest, I don't know if I would have dropped off AEW because even during the lockdown era, I think AEW were putting out a consistently good product.
I'll agree with that. Just to let you know, my community, it's okay to be an AEW shill around here. I'm
not an AEW shill. I just think out of the two main US companies over the lockdown era, AEW put out consistently good product in comparison to WWE, in my opinion. But if I was to have a break from wrestling, it probably would have been in the last 12 to 15 months. Not because I didn't think it was very good. Like I said, I probably still would have watched AEW, but I probably would have had a break from WWE.
Yeah.
I don't even like saying that because Roman Reigns has been doing the best work of his career in the past 12 to 15, 18 months.
Do you think sorry, man, but do you think it was because of the lack of crowd noise, maybe?
Yes, the lack of crowd made a big impact. It affects the whole show. I mean, just since fans have been back in the last month or so, you can just see the difference.
Jesus, that's been a month, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's AEW and WWE. Both have got crowds, and both shows feel a lot better just having the crowds there. So I don't want to say I would definitely have had a break. I'm just saying hypothetically, if it was to have happened, it probably would have been in the last year or so without the crowds. But because of work, I'm always covering the Graps, Tom.
Yeah,
so I've been watching a bit of everything, and I've still enjoyed it.
You brought up an interesting point about enjoyment, even though it's your job. So this is going to sound like an overly simple question, but do you enjoy wrestling, or is it a bit like?
Oh no, I love wrestling. I do.
I only do it because it's my job, sort of thing.
No, I love wrestling. Like I said earlier, I've always had wrestling in my life. Like even as a baby playing with. Do you remember, I don't know if you ever had one, but there was a little blue WWF rings, and they had like the little action figures. Can't remember what they were called. Like
they ring a bell. I don't know if I had one.
Yeah. But... So my brother had one, then he gave it to me. So I've always enjoyed and loved wrestling. So even before Cultaholic, I was really, really enjoying everything. Obviously, AEW wasn't around before I joined Cultaholic. So I watched.
It was around before Cultaholic, was it?
AEW was not. No, it wasn't. Well, it's only been around for 2 years. What am I talking about?
Yeah, it was 2019. I thought it was 2018.
Yeah, January. Yeah, I remember January 1st, 2019 was when they did like the tease. Remember?
And then the May 2019 was Double or Nothing, was it not?
Yeah.
So
but no, I've always loved wrestling.
So if we brought up an interesting thing there, how did you then get to work in wrestling? Like, do you have any video experience or media experience?
I don't. I didn't go to university to be a video editor or anything to do with media, really. When I was in sixth form, I went to a sixth form college, and in high school, I had a group of friends, and we were.
Because you're from Liverpool, right?
I am. I'm a Scouser. I'm a Scouser, Tom. And
Fair enough.
and so I say a lot, which I think is a Scouse thing. And also,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my brain going.
Yeah.
So as a kid in school, I used to just make my friends laugh and make stupid videos using this, like, I don't remember what video editing software I used at the time, but I just used to make silly montage videos of like when we played games, and then I'd just do like MLG stuff, flames everywhere, just wacky stuff, just to try and make them laugh. So that's how I taught myself how to edit. I'm completely
So
self-taught.
you're self-taught sort of thing?
Completely self-taught. I went to university to actually do game development. So when I was in sixth form, I did media studies and game development and IT.
And then you had to pick one when you went to.
I had to pick one, and I had both teachers telling me to go in each direction of each head of the course, and I was like, I don't know which one I want to do. I like it. I like media, but I want to make games. Games are amazing. So I went to university. And I got a degree in game development, but then I realized when I was at university that my passion was for video editing. So so I followed that instead.
So if you could go back now and say, because you go to uni at 18, right?
Yes.
Or is it 17?
18, yeah.
If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self, nah, you made a mistake, do video, do media, would you?
Yes, definitely. I realized probably in second year that I'd made a mistake.
Okay.
I was enjoying the course. Like, it wasn't a terrible course or anything. Game development, it can be fun. It's hard work, as is video, as is editing.
Did you finish? I
did finish. Yeah, I got my degree. I got a 2-1 at Edge Hill University in game development. But
very nice.
It was in the summer of one of the years. I think it might have been in the summer after my first year. I actually went and done a bit of a work experience with a YouTube channel called the Red Men TV, and they're Liverpool Football Club fan channel, because I support Liverpool. So so it's a fan channel for Liverpool. So I did a bit of work experience there for like 5 or 6 months. And when I was there, I realized this is what I want to do. I want to get involved with media, and specifically video editing. So after that, while doing my uni course, I also kept this as a backup and tried to just teach myself some tricks. So so completely self-taught with the editing stuff.
I'm slowly getting there, but I don't have the patience. I won't lie.
You just got to keep at it, mate. Got to keep at it. It can be tricky at first. It's not a nice learning curve. It's steep. It can be tricky.
I'm one of those people that I do need more patience, definitely. But if something, like, say I'm editing something for my channel, I'm like, if something doesn't go right the first time, I'm like, I'll pick this up again tomorrow. I'm just getting frustrated.
You've got to be persistent. You just got to be persistent. You're going to make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've made many mistakes when it comes to editing, and I'm still learning things every single day. So,
is the biggest mistake you feel like you've made as an editor, either from previous work or at Cultaholic?
Biggest mistake? I don't know if I have a biggest mistake.
Okay, what is a mistake that comes to mind then, maybe?
A lot of the mistakes I made early on when I was just teaching myself is trying to take shortcuts. Just trying to take shortcuts, and there's no way around it. You just got to do the graft and do the hard work. I remember when I was, because I originally started as a freelancer for Cultaholic. I'm sure we're going to get down the line.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
And I would sometimes make mistakes in my list that I was submitting when I was working from home as a freelancer. And then
Who picked that sort of stuff up when you make it? It
was Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sam would always give me good feedback and just help me improve and keep on working at it. So when you're learning as an editor, like I'm sure you're learning now,
slowly,
you're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. You're going to make mistakes, but you're gonna learn from your mistakes and then just keep improving.
Yeah. So that is an interesting segue, actually, because you said you started off as a freelance Cultaholic.
I did.
So how did you come to? Was this still when you were living in Liverpool? When you were a freelancer?
Yep.
So how did you apply? How did you, etc.? Was it literally just a job advertisement? And
It was. It was in May 2018, I think. I think it was in May of 2018, or maybe April time. It was like spring 2018, and I was in the middle of doing my dissertation, and I saw this job application come up on Cultaholic's Twitter, and I've openly said on streams and stuff, and if I've ever popped up on anything, that I was a fan of the channel before I joined, and I saw. Yeah, I was a fan of the lads when they were at What Culture, and then I followed them over to Cultaholic. So I was a fan, and then I followed them on Twitter, saw the job application, and I was in the middle of my dissertation, and I remember replying to the tweet saying, "When is the deadline? Because I'm in the middle of my dissertation." And someone replied saying, I can't remember who it was, just saying, "Oh, there's no rush. The deadline's in like a month or so." Even though I just got that news, the deadline's in a month or so, I still just put my dissertation to one side and just did the application. That's all.
Seriously?
At this point, I just wanted to be an editor. That's all I wanted to do. Even though I was focusing on uni stuff still, I put my dissertation to the side to do my application.
Because, and if this comes across offensive, I do apologize. Because you'd realized that video game making, whatever you want to call it, wasn't your passion, did you find you slacked off a little bit, or did you still knock down?
I could have done better. I'm sure. I think a lot of people say that when they finish uni, like, "Oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that." I was happy with the degree I got. I was happy with my dissertation. I was happy with a lot of what I did. I could have worked harder, and I could have. What's the word? I wouldn't say I was slacking off at all at uni, but I definitely could have. I could have done better. But I think a lot of people in hindsight would say that about their time at university.
Yeah. I'd say that because I never went to uni, but I went to college. So I'd say definitely in college I could have worked harder.
What did you do at college, Tom?
Media, funny enough.
Oh, nice.
I've got a merit in, I can't remember what it's officially called because this was like 3 years ago. Yeah. But it's like a basic media course. So that I know how to set up cameras properly and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. So you were getting a bit of experience then.
Yeah. So if we take this back, I didn't expect you to switch that around on me. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry, I just wanted to know what you did.
No, it's totally cool because I prefer it like that.
It's a back and forth. We're having a chat.
Rather than me being like spoiler alert, I've got questions written down, but I haven't looked at my phone yet because we've just been chatting. So
we're flowing, Tom. We're flowing.
But I wouldn't want it to be like da.
Right, just going through a list, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't remember what we were talking about before we said that.
Uni.
Oh right, uni, and you said that maybe if you worked a bit harder. Do you think if you had been doing a media course at uni and you were properly passionate about it, you would have worked harder?
Absolutely. Like I was saying before, I found out after doing that internship with the Red Men that this was my passion. This is what I wanted to do. So if I was doing a media course, I for sure would have give 110%. Not that I didn't give it up my all with the game developments, but I think I would have. It's just when you find something that you're passionate about, you just want to pursue that more, which is why if there was any slacking involved when I was at uni, it's because I was just teaching myself how to edit.
Slacking might have been the wrong word, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yeah. Go on, sorry.
No, continue. I need to stop interrupting.
But yeah, so to answer your question, if I was doing media, I wouldn't have been doing anything like any of side projects because I would have been doing what I was passionate about. So
yeah.
So
how did that internship with the I think you said Red Men?
Yep. Red Men TV.
How did that get set up then?
They just put out an advertisement, I think, on their socials, which they still do on a regular basis, by the way. So if there's anyone in the Liverpool area that wants to get some experience, that it's a great opportunity and it's one worth well taken up. So they had an advertisement on the socials, just unpaid experience, and I thought it was in the I think I'm right in saying it was in between first and second year.
Were you a fan of it? You may have said that before.
Yes, yeah, I'm a big Liverpool fan, so I definitely am, and I'm still a big fan of the Redmen TV. They're a great channel, and so I applied for them. I didn't have any experience, like professionally. I was completely new, completely self-taught, and I said that in my application. But I went and had a little chat with Paul and Chris, who run their channel, and they were like, "Yeah, come on board." So they had me coming on and just learning the basics. They taught me how to use the cameras, the sound, bits and bobs. They got me on a few edits, and mostly because I was doing game. It was funny because I was doing game development, and at the time they had a little side channel called Retro Football, which was a bit similar to us, Cultaholic and Triple Jump. So they had a gaming channel on the side.
Was it like gaming content then?
Yeah, but it was only football games.
It's like FIFA and PES and stuff like that.
Exactly. So I had the opportunity to edit a lot of my time there was actually editing a lot of their videos for the gaming channel. So I got a lot of experience editing gaming content as well, which was really fun. Really, it was a good laugh, and I learned a lot. I was only there for 5 or 6 months, only a short space of time.
Okay. So if we go back to, and I apologize, my interviews jump all over the place.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. You're doing great.
Like if we go back to, you were a freelancer at Cultaholic, right?
Yes.
How does it then come to, you know what, I'm going to move. I don't know how far Liverpool is from Newcastle, and I should have looked that up, but I'm going to move to a new city to get a new job.
I'm trying to think of how many miles it is away now. It's a 3 hour car ride if anyone like isn't familiar. So it's a fair distance to move.
Yeah.
So how did it come about? So I was freelancing with Cultaholic for about 6 months.
What else were you doing for work at this time?
I worked at PC World, Curry's PC World.
Ah.
Just a bit of retail work to get a bit of money. And I actually did that while I was at uni as well in my 3rd year.
Were you doing any other freelance editing at this time?
No. So I was working at PC World part-time while I was at uni. Then I finished uni, and my PC World went a bit to full-time until I got the Cultaholic freelancing gig. So then I did both at the same time. So I was literally finishing shifts at work, coming home and editing for Cultaholic. That went on from June until October time. And then I got a message off Sam and Adam, I think. And they asked me in the build up to Christmas to get Christmas content ready. Would I be able to do 2 lists a week? At the time, I was doing one list video every week. And I just said to them, because I was still working at PC World, I just wouldn't be able to fit it all in. But I said, I would like to do this like as a full-time thing. So I would like to.
Did you throw that out there? Yeah.
Yeah, I said to them, I'd like to leave PC World. So if you guys could guarantee me like a more consistent still I was saying freelance work, more consistent freelance work, I'll be able to do your 2 videos a week and 2 list videos a week, and then get lots of content ready for Christmas. And I got a reply back from Sam just saying, he sent me an email back. It was like, just 1 minute, I'll just go chat to Adam. And then about an hour later, I got a message off Adam, he basically offered me a full-time job to move up to Newcastle, starting in the January. So from October to January, I was just full-time Cultaholic, but working from home. And then in January, I moved on up to lovely Newcastle.
Is this January of 2019? Yeah.
Yes.
So what was because were you still living at home at this point?
Yes, I lived at home until I moved up to Newcastle, yeah.
What was your people, I never want to say parents in case situation's wrong, but people you lived with at the time,
yeah,
what was their reaction to, oh, by the way, I'm moving to Newcastle?
I did have a chat with my mum about it first. My mum is a very protective woman, bless her. I love her to bits. She's very protective of all the kids. I'm one of 4. I'm the youngest. So
oh, really?
I think with me being the youngest, she was like, whoa, Newcastle, what? Because I never moved out for uni. My uni wasn't too far away.
Yeah,
so I lived at home the whole time, and then I was 21, and so I was looking to move out. And when the opportunity came up to go full time and move to Newcastle, I was jumping at the chance. I was like, yes. But then I had to chat to my mum first, and my mum was like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" just being a mum, being a caring mum, and
Yeah, I get you.
and I was just persistent. I was like, I definitely want to do this. Yes, 100%. And then she gave me a support, and she gave me all the backing, bless her, and I moved up.
Did they say to you, and if this is too personal, please don't answer, but did they like say to you, look, if it falls apart, you've still got a room here and what have you?
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, they said if I don't like it in Newcastle, or if I ever wanted to come home, yeah, I've always got a room there in my mum's house, bless her.
Again, if I really feel weird about going personal, and I do apologize.
No, feel free, mate. I said before we start, you can feel free to ask me anything you want.
I know, but I'm new at this still. I'm still new. So yeah. So like you've moved up by this point. So obviously, right now you live with Jack, right?
I do.
How did that come about then?
Me and Jack have now lived together since January 2019. It's been a long time.
Oh really?
But originally there was a third musketeer in the mix, Tom.
Was it Sam?
It was Sam, the shredder himself, Sam Driver.
I never knew this.
Yes.
I knew Sam and Jack lived together, but I didn't know that you were living there at the same time. If that makes sense.
It was a very short period. It didn't last too long. How long was it? It was only 6 months. Only 6 months.
Oh yeah.
So the three of us lived together for 6 months. So how it worked out is Sam and Jack had lived together for a couple of years. I think when they were at What Culture, they might have lived together. I might be wrong.
I think so. I'm really hoping to get Jack on to do this. I'm not gonna lie.
Hopefully you do, mate. It'll be a good interview. I'm sure he'll be up for it at some point. Yeah.
So hopefully we can clear that up. But anyway.
So what was I saying? So Jack and Sam already lived together, and they were moving into a 3-bedroom house. And it just so happened that I was moving up, and then Sam said, "Oh, there's a third bedroom free in mine and Jack's new place. If you want it." And I was like, "Yes, come on, get me in there." A lot easier than doing it all by myself, just being like alone in this new city. So I had Jack and Sam, who are obviously from the area, so they could teach me everything. Yeah. And obviously being a fan of the channel at first, and I'd only met them. I met them once before I moved in with them, so it was very nerve-wracking for me.
Fair enough.
And even better, Tom, when I moved in, they were in Japan for Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, were they?
So I moved in a new city on my own, and they were at Wrestle Kingdom, and then they come back from Japan, and their return flight from Japan. I don't know if you remember, but they had
Wasn't
a big old hassle.
Like a day?
Yes. So when they got back, they were just like, right, bedtime, off to bed. So it was funny though. But yeah, so me, Jack and Sam all lived together for 6 months, and ever since then, it's just been me and Jack.
Are you close with Jack, or is it just we're flatmates?
Yeah, I'd say we're close. We've lived together now for 3 years. It'll be 3 years in January. So
wow.
I think if you live with someone for that long, you're gonna get a bit close with them.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's a good lad.
Mm-hmm. So like, what's it called? So how do you think living with the guys impacted being able to work on videos with them, either positively or negatively?
Well, I've only worked on camera with Jack.
No. I mean editing as well.
Oh, sorry. I don't think it's affected it that much. Obviously, me and Jack have got like we know each other's banter a bit more, obviously, because we do our streams together every single week on Twitch. So
check them out if you don't already.
Yes, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Thank you, Tom, for setting me up there for the plug. See, you're getting good. You're good at these interviews, mate. You're good. You're getting like an expert.
Yeah, I wouldn't go quite that far, but I appreciate that.
But yeah, I think definitely living with Jack, and also over lockdown, I edited pretty much all of Jack's videos. News,
wasn't it literally he records you? He basically gives you the memory card. There you go, boom.
Literally, we had a pop-up green screen in the living room, so I'd go in the living room, set him up, get the camera rolling, make sure his mic's on. I'd go in my bedroom where my computer was, start getting set up for the video, and then Oh, the aircon's just making loud noises there. Sorry, Tom, distracted me.
It's not
And
me.
then-
I can't hear it, so hopefully.
Okay,
It will.
I just saw it going off. I forgot I had it on. And
No,
so yeah,
it's like to peel the curtain back. We just had my family shouting a little bit, so hopefully things won't be picked up. But if they do, in the comments, we know. Like, do you know what I mean?
I've not heard much, to be fair, like coming through on my headphones. So
no, they've gone quiet now, so we're good.
But yeah, so Jack used to just record in the living room, come into my bedroom, just hand me the SD card. I get away editing. And that's what we did for how long was lockdown? It was too long, Tom. It was
it's
too
still
long.
going on in some ways.
So
but I know what you mean. It was I was housebound for 3 months because I had to shield because of my medical conditions. I really need to stop talking about myself.
Oh, no, mate, don't worry about it. We're just having a chat. It's fine.
Yeah. So it was about 3 months solidly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Well, lockdown wasn't good for anyone, was it? Let's be fair.
No
let's
way.
be honest. It wasn't very fun. But one of the benefits of lockdown is that me and Jack did have each other, at least to keep each other company.
I wouldn't have been doing this without lockdown. I'll say that.
Well, Zoom wasn't really a thing before lockdown, was it?
Well, not even the Zoom, because the Adam interview came about because of lockdown.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I have got the talent to do Zoom interviews, because I didn't think I did at that point.
You do, mate. You do. You're a natural at it, Tom.
Thank you. So you and Jack are living together at this point. Things are going well. And then, like, how did it come that, like, you're going to start? Because was it predictions? You made your on-camera debut, or was it news?
I don't know if we're going to include the Twitch streams, but my official debut would have been on Twitch.
Twitch streams.
Yeah.
Twitch streams? I meant streams.
So the whole idea of it came about was Adam. I've been planning on us a few people getting on to do Twitch streams just to break up the days at work.
Yeah.
I think this might have been before the lockdown. I'm not too sure, but the lockdown escalated it quite a lot. So I don't know if I was originally going to be a part of any of the streams ideas, but me and Jack are big fans of a lot of Football Manager YouTubers and streamers.
Yeah.
And so me and Jack were like sat there and just thinking, could we do this together? Would that be fun? And we chatted about it, and we both thought, yeah, this could be a good laugh. It could make for a good stream. Football Manager is quite popular on Twitch. And so we pitched it to Adam. Adam liked the idea of it. So we started doing the Twitch streams once a week. And I was very, very nervous at the beginning because I'd never been on camera before. And also,
did you have any desire to do on camera stuff?
I don't know. I think when the idea came up to do this with Jack, I was like, yes, this would be like, it's perfect. Football, get to chill with Jack and just have a bit of a laugh. I jumped at the chance to do that. And I think the streams did make me think, oh, could I be a half decent presenter? I'm not, but I thought maybe I could give it a chance. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. But the Twitch stuff was first, and then after that, I started to dabble in a few predictions with Jack. And today was my first news video.
Yes, at time of recording, it was.
Yes, at time of recording. Sorry. Yes.
Only because, as I say, I have content I'm going to spread out.
Viewers, this lad has stacks of content ready to go.
Just I wouldn't quite go that far.
Just piles of content, just ready to throw out to the world. So subscribe to the channel.
I sent you a nice tweet because I was like, wow, he did a lot better than I would have for his first news video.
Honestly, I'm very nervous. Very nervous. There was a lot of people busy today, and Adam, a few days ago, Adam asked me, would you like to do one? And I was like, yeah. I was in my head. I was a bit like, can I do it?
Because
bless him. Adam carried me through it.
Was predictions the only thing you'd done on camera at that point?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. In YouTube video format, obviously the Twitch Like with
in
the
YouTube format.
yeah, because like with the Twitch stuff now, I feel very comfortable. Like I feel like I could just jump on Twitch now and just have a good time with the chat. But
Because you do it
YouTube
now.
is very different.
You do it now if Jack's on holiday for a week, you'll still do something, won't you?
Yeah, if there's a free slot on the schedule, I'm always happy to hop on and hang out with the chat, because we have Cultaholic genuinely does have an amazing fan base. That everyone is lovely. As like time of recording from my first 2 news videos that went out today, I've had a lot of lovely comments and a lovely tweet sent to me from the community, and I'm very grateful for it, because I was a very nervous boy, Tom, very nervous. So so we have a lovely community, and they're good to hang out with on Twitch.
Do you think because Twitch is the live aspect and you are chatting with people, you find it easier because you get that instant feedback rather than scrolling through comments on YouTube videos or looking for do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, I get what you mean. I guess so. I guess the live interaction really appeals to me, because you can ask the chat a question and they'll just respond within seconds.
Yeah,
it's a back and forth. Whereas for me, obviously, I've not done a lot of presenting, especially solo presenting. So just there's no feedback. I'm just talking to the camera, and there's no feedback until the video goes live. And that is a bit daunting for me. So I'm a bit like, oh, did I mess up? Did I screw up? Did I say I shouldn't have said this? I should have said this.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference, and it's just getting used to it, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll come over time.
Because like I will be, for the first couple of days when I'm watching, I'll watch this interview back. Not a knock on you, I'll say this, but like I shouldn't have talked over him at this point. Like you critique yourself, don't you?
Definitely. Everybody does. I think everybody does. It's natural. But when doing that, you'll find ways to improve yourself.
Yeah.
As I still do when I watch back my lists and whenever I've appeared on camera. Like I watched back today's time of recording today's news, and I'm already looking back thinking, oh, there's a few things I could have done better. And
do you know what they are?
Natural.
Are you willing to share what they are?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind. There was in the second news video, I was just reading out a citation. I was just reading out a quote from the Observer.
I know what you mean.
I was reading out a quote from the Wrestling Observer, and I just, for some reason, my head, just because I was sat there next to Adam on the camera, my head was just, the words weren't coming out properly. I just kept stumbling over my words. So there was a few drop takes of me just trying to say this very easy quote. And for some reason, I just felt the pressure a little bit. So there's time for me to improve in that aspect. And what else? I don't know. That was the main takeaway from today. And also just making sure not talking over Adam, because I felt like at times maybe I did and I shouldn't have. And I think everyone can be guilty of it, Tom. It's not just I think I was doing it on the news today. So it's something that I need to work on. I don't know if I'll be doing more news. You might know by the time this goes out if I popped up again. Who knows?
The problem I have with talking over is I'll think of a question, and because I don't feel right sitting on my phone writing them down, if I don't say it, I would have forgot them.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That's fair enough. And also, we're on Zoom, so there's a bit of a delay. So you need to take that into account as well.
True. So you're doing Football Manager, you're doing everything, like occasional news, occasional predictions, etc. So where can the people find you when it comes to editing?
When it comes to editing, so I usually edit on a weekday. I usually edit every news video on a weekday. Sam does the weekends at the minute. So you normally edit every news video on the weekday. I do lists, not as often as I used to, because I have a lot going on like at once. So my lists are a bit more sporadic than they used to. I can't get out one list a week anymore like I used to. Now it's one list every 4 weeks. I don't want to date the video. I was going to say what my most recent one was, but I'm not going to date the video by doing that. But
just in case.
I mean, I can still say it. Check it out on the channel anyway. So I edited Tom did a voiceover, one of his first voiceovers. It was the history of Deep South Wrestling, and it was a
I can't
very
believe that was Tom's first voiceover.
yes for I think it was his first one for like a list. I think so.
Yeah.
And it was a really fun. It was really fun one to do. It took a while because there was a lot of animations to do and stuff, but it was a really fun edit to do. So that was that took a while. But yeah, so I edit lists, news. I used to edit graded and wrestlers of the week, and I edit all sorts, Tom, all sorts.
Fair enough. But what is it that you feel like separates your editing style from, say, Matt's, Andrew's? I can't think of any other editor's name, but you know what?
I don't. What separates mine? We all have our own techniques. If I can watch a Dan Heppel video. I can watch an Andrew video and a Richard Tubman video, and I'll know who. I feel like I would know whose is whose. Just because we've all got our own little quirks that we throw in there, our own little jokes and stuff. So I don't know really what makes mine stand out. I'm just so used to mine. Mine just feels like it's normal. I don't know what makes it stand out. No, I don't know what makes it stand out, Tom.
Fair enough. But like, is there not something you do in a video that people would see, this is definitely an Owen edited video, or something you don't do, maybe?
Something I don't do. Something, because a lot of us are trying to follow the same formula, although we'll throw our own little quirks in. I try and get as many jokes in there as possible, just to make it a bit more lighthearted. I try and, obviously I don't write the scripts, but if the script calls, if it's a jokey list written by one of our amazing writers, then I'll try and make it as comedic as possible, throw in some funny images or whatever. But lately I've been doing the more serious topics, like the history of Deep South Wrestling. That was a really it's just a history lesson on the developmental promotion. So it was just it was really fun to do. I really enjoyed that one.
Okay. So I always feel weird bringing this up, but say Adam came to you and said, look, we have enough on-camera people. Mm-hmm. We need you to go back to doing full-time editing. Would that be something you'd be comfortable with, or would you be a bit like,
No, absolutely, yeah. I'm basically a full-time editor now because I sporadically pop up on camera besides Twitch, which I do on a regular basis.
And I'm including taking Twitch away.
I suppose if the Twitch streams were taken away, I'd be a bit gutted because I do genuinely enjoy them. I enjoy hanging out with the chat and talking to our amazing community. So I will be a little bit gutted about that. But when it comes to the editing side of things, I feel like I am basically a full-time editor now. So it wouldn't be too much of a difference besides just taking away the Twitch streams, which I would be a bit sad about because they're a good laugh. Really enjoy them.
Okay. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just genuinely curious.
I hope not, Tom.
Do you have a desire to have your own series or stuff? Or are you, I know we've talked about that a bit, but do you have any ideas for your own series, maybe?
Not for my own series, because I'm not confident in my abilities as a presenter to like host my own show. But I mean, ideas are always floated around for different people. We're always throwing around ideas for different series, different shows. Dan Heppel, one of our amazing editors, he started off a new series recently, which went up. I don't know if you saw it, the debut of Judge Ross. With the Daniel Bryan booking video. That was Dan Heppel's idea. And it was the video come off amazingly well. It was brilliant.
I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. Dan is so talented. And the lads in the video did amazing work as well, coming up with the booking ideas and the storylines. So that is like a new idea that was battered around in the office. That Dan come up with the idea, and then Dan pitched it. So if ideas can always be pitched, and then they can be taken somewhere. So it's always on the table for ideas to be pitched. But I wouldn't say I'll pitch one with myself at the center.
No, but have you got ideas for series then?
Maybe, Tom, maybe. I can't expose them just in case. I know. But the benefit of working here is that everyone has the ability to offer their insights. Everyone has the ability to offer opinions and pitch things. So there's always a chance for me to just say, I might just come up with something tomorrow morning, just say, Adam, I've got this idea. And then we might find 10 minutes to have a little chat about it and sit down and see if it goes anywhere. Sometimes it doesn't, but you never know.
Okay. So some general wrestling questions as we wrap this up, because like we've been going about an hour now. Yeah?
Oh, it's flown by. Has it really? It's been an hour.
About an hour.
Oh God, wow, it has as well.
Yeah.
It's flown by, Tom.
What's your... Actually, I'll ask you this first. What's your favourite... what were your favourite Cultaholic series before you joined? And then do you still catch up with the content now you're involved?
Yes, so I do try to take the second one first. I do try and keep up with the content as much as I can. Obviously, with me being around everyone and people working on videos, editors and presenters, I kind of get the gist of what's going on anyway. But I'll still try and catch up on series that I've not like edited myself. And my favorite series beforehand, I loved, you know what? I love the reaction videos. Always have. I think they're brilliant. The edited down ones specifically, I think they're amazing. They're really fun. I before lockdown, I had the opportunity to edit a few of the reaction videos myself, and I also got to edit the not this past WrestleManias, but WrestleMania last year.
I felt so sorry for you guys with that one.
Me and Sam edited that. Because it was the first pay-per-view in lockdown, and it was bloody WrestleMania, only the biggest one, Tom. So me and Sam were working tirelessly to get those 2 nights edited together for last year's WrestleMania. This year's WrestleMania, I didn't have to edit because I was up all night doing What Happened At. That's a series that I should have said What Happened At. I edit them every single month for pay-per-views. Yeah. Me and Jack are up all hours, no sleep, just working away.
Fair enough.
So I watched reactions beforehand. I was a fan of Ross with WTF because they're hilarious. Still are when he does them for pay-per-views. Was graded around at the time. I think it might have been. So I watched a lot of Graded.
So. I think Graded was something they brought over straight away.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. So yeah, Graded. And obviously the lists. I watched a lot of the lists as a fan, and then that's maybe how I transitioned into being an editor so easily. That's how I transitioned because I got the feel of the style of how a Cultaholic list is edited.
Okay, so trying to think of the word now. So if I was to ask you your favorite match of all time, what would that be? And then your favorite pay-per-view of all time?
Oh, Tom, that's tough. Favorite match of all time. It's a common answer. I'm sure it's a common answer. Have you asked this to the other Cultaholic
and other wrestling personalities?
Yes, I saw that you had Stephen Lawson on very recently. That was you did a great job, mate. I'm a big fan of Stephen Lawson. They're good
Thank
lads.
You. I really enjoyed.
And you did a good job. My favorite match. So it's probably a common answer, but I've got a soft spot because it was the first WrestleMania that I stayed up live to watch. And it was WrestleMania 25, Undertaker versus Shawn. I know it's a common answer. I don't want it to be too boring of an answer, but it's my favorite. So not only is it an amazing match, it's got a soft spot for me because it was the first Mania that I stayed up late to watch.
I have no qualms about people what their favorite matches are, but I am finding that you get a lot of common answers to that question.
Yeah.
What about pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view of all time. It's a tough one. I don't want to take. I was going to say recency bias. I absolutely. It's not my favorite of all time, but off the top of my head right now, All Out this year that had just gone. That we just saw a few this past week. What a show! From top to bottom, the card was immense, and then obviously you get the amazing finish with the debuts at the end.
Pay-per-view of the year?
Oh yes, it's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, Money in the Bank 2011.
Another common answer.
I'm a CM Punk fan, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So Money in the Bank 2011. Again, I know it's not it was, looking back, it was definitely not a very good WrestleMania from top to bottom. But I do have a soft spot for WrestleMania 25 because it was the first one that I watched live.
Yeah.
It was looking back, it was not a good show, but that Taker Michaels match saved it.
That's one of them. It's the cliche expression, but that's one of them matches where you're like, that's worth the price of the pay-per-view alone.
Oh, absolutely. I would, without a doubt. I'm trying to think of anything a bit older. What I really enjoyed.
I've got a question about All Out while you're thinking of that.
Okay.
Do you think All Out has got? Don't get me wrong. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. It's my pay-per-view of the year. But do you think that maybe it got a bit more love because it was the first show outside of for AEW, outside of Daily's Place? It was their first big pay-per-view in a while.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, potentially. It was a hot crowd for the whole show, wasn't it?
I was about to say in all of wrestling, but I know that's not true because Money in the Bank was first.
Yeah, I was going to say it's up there though. It was a very good crowd, and the show helped. Let's be honest. The card, and the matches. CM Punk's first match in 7 years, so the crowd were hot for the whole show. The crowd does help, absolutely.
Because we talked about at the start of this interview that you felt, even though you've never had a break from wrestling, that you could have had a break if you didn't, if you weren't working in this job.
Yeah. The crowd makes all the difference to any promotion, no matter what it is. Even if we think WWE isn't doing great at a certain thing, or AEW isn't doing great, the crowd still elevates it a teeny bit.
No, I agree. 100% I agree. But what?
Sorry, Tom, you might have already answered this in interviews, so sorry for viewers that have already had your answer, but what is your favorite pay-per-view of all time, if you don't mind me asking?
Again, it's an old answer, but All Out 2019.
Oh, the where Jericho wins the title.
Mainly because it's the first AEW. It was the first non-WWE show I ever purchased and watched.
Nice. See, so you got a soft spot for it?
Yeah. Same with you, WrestleMania 25.
Yeah.
It was like, because I'll be honest, and again, I'm talking about myself. I should really stop that.
I asked you the question, Tom.
Okay. So
I took over.
So like, I have been a WWE guy since wrestling was a thing, because obviously since wrestling was a thing in my life. And to be honest, I'd seen so many companies come and go that like all AEW wasn't doing anything for me.
Right.
And then I saw, wait, Jericho's fighting for their title. I've got to buy it now. And then you had that amazing Young Bucks Lucha Bros match. Yep. You had that still very underrated match, in my opinion, Shawn Spears versus Cody Rhodes. And obviously you had the main event.
Yeah, it was a great show. All Out 2019 was a brilliant show. You can't argue with that one.
And then
it's a good answer.
Like from sentimental perspective, probably for same with you, Money in the Bank 2011.
2011, yeah. Yeah. I mean, not just the Cena Punk match. The whole show was brilliant.
That is an amazing show.
Every Money in the Bank ladder match was brilliant.
They're both really good, even though the Raw winner now is a bit murky, but I think that's a lot of wrestling at the moment. But then
Daniel Bryan winning the SmackDown one.
Bryan winning the SmackDown. The Edge and Christian? No, I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. The Randy Orton Christian feud, where you were like, oh, they could have. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the Punk Cena feud wasn't a thing, I think that would have been a thing for Rivalry of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. It was probably a second place there. Nothing could compare to Punk Cena of 2011, but Orton and Christian had some great matches that year. They had a good one at SummerSlam as well. I remember that one.
I watched it the other day, funny enough, for something I was working on for another channel that I'm part of. So I really enjoyed that, actually. But anyway, as we wrap this up, have I asked you your favorite superstar of all time? I think I know the answer.
I did. I might have referenced it earlier, but it's got to be good old HBK, HB Shizzle,
Oh, really?
Shawn Michaels. It's got to be. I'd probably go pick Shawn over CM Punk. CM Punk's not my favorite of all time. He's one of my. I was going to say one of my current favorites. He's been gone for 7 years, but
I know what you mean. Yeah,
he's up there. He's up there. But no, HB Shizzle. It's got to be up there, Tom.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. When I was a kid, I just gravitated towards him. I just think he was probably just amazing in the ring. I had a lot of. Do you remember the Silver Vision Tag Classics DVDs that they used to sell? Don't know if you remember those. So they were like they're like a silver DVD case, and they had two WWE pay-per-views on it. And I had a lot from the mid to late 90s. So a lot of Shawn's title run. So I got to see a lot of his matches, like his match with Mankind at the In Your House and his Hell in a Cell match with Taker, just all that good stuff. So definitely Shawn. But I've got a few good choices. I think Kenny Omega. Loads.
I know what you'll probably say because you grew up on one half of it, but 90s Shawn or 2000 Shawn?
2000 Shawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to be.
So the question I always end on is because I'm trying to develop like an interview style and a question that people can know is coming. But what is one video that you edited or presented on that you want the people to go, like, this is a video that I'm really proud of. If you want to see my work, check that out. And then what is one that you're like, if Adam could press the delete button, I'm not a fan of that.
Wipe it off the face of the earth, Tom. I know the answer because preparing for this earlier today, just before we were getting set up, I had a little peek at your interview with Fraser, which at time of recording just went on the channel, and I saw that this was the same question that you asked him at the end. So I'm ready. I was ready to go. So I went back, Tom, and found my first list that I edited, which is still live on the channel. You can still go watch it. I don't recommend it, but you can.
Is this the one for you to go bye-bye? Yeah.
Yes, get it out, chuck it in the bin. So it's a Jack voiceover, and it's a top 10. What is it? It's a top 10 Roman Reigns matches that you need to see. I think is the name of the list. It's top 10 Roman Reigns matches that you need to see. I think
something along them lines.
It's Roman Reigns themed, and that was the first list I edited as a freelancer. So I did my application, got the offer to do freelancing, and that was the first one that I got given. And oh boy, Tom, I've improved. I think it's safe to say I've improved a little bit since then, since mid 2018. It's very rough. It's very basic. I would change everything about it. Nothing. I went back and watched a little bit of it beforehand, and I was just cringing. I was like, no, it's not good. But that's just because everyone over time will develop and get better at anything in life. So
yeah, like
but a part of me doesn't want it to be deleted or wiped off the face of the earth, because it's always there for me to go back to and say, that's where I started and this is where I am now. So
all right, maybe not delete it off the face of the earth, but like if you like one that you're like, please don't watch that. That doesn't paint me in the best light.
It will probably be that one. It'll probably be that one.
And then what's one video that you're proud of and you're like, I'm so proud of that. If you want to see either your editing style or your presenting style, please go check that out. So, and you can nominate a Twitch stream if you like, because I know that's a big part of it.
There's been a few funny Twitch streams. For the Twitch, the funniest Twitch stream was when Jack had his first COVID jab. Because he was so giggly, he didn't know what was going on. It was hilarious. If you can find, I don't know what date it was, but if you subscribe to us, I think if you subscribe to us on Patreon, you can go watch all the VODs. If you can find that one where Jack got his jab, you'll be in for a funny 2 hours, because it was a good laugh that day. Okay. But when it comes to lists, I have to say, I've already referenced it a lot in this interview, but my history of Deep South Wrestling, which is the Tom voiceover.
Which will be, at time of recording, is that your most recent list edited?
It's my most recent one at time of recording. Yeah, I'm very proud of the edit for that one. I think the voiceover is very, very well done by Tom. The script is brilliant. And also I think I've done quite well with the edit. But another one that I'm very proud of is one from February 2020. It was just before everything kicked off with COVID and lockdown. And I edited the whole Intercontinental Champions ranked list.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first chunky video that I did by myself.
Did you edit that entire thing by yourself?
I did, Tom. I was working on it full time every day. And I look back at it and I think there's changes I would make, but I'm very proud that it's like a feature-length film. It's an hour and a half long.
I said this, it was either during, I think it was during the Matt interview that I did recently with Matt inside Star Wars.
Yes, Matthew Stewart.
Yeah. I said, I will literally stick them on if I'm editing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know the ranking, but it's like, it's some noise in the background. They're so well edited that, like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Our ranking videos are some of the best stuff that we do. It's very informative. I think it makes our channel stand out a lot compared to other channels. But
to the point that certain channels we won't mention right now try to rip you off sometimes.
Let's not talk about that, Tom. Let's not go into that.
Yeah. But as I say,
the Intercontinental title one, I think that was really good. And I'm quite happy with the Randall Keefe bit that I did in that. I think that quite funny edit.
Did you create that?
I didn't
create the song, but the edit, I take it.
I've done a few Randall Keefe edits. Yes, I've done a few. I did the one in the Intercontinental titles list. I did the one I've done two, and I don't remember what the other Randall Keefe one was, but I've also done a Randy Savage thing edit with the same
brilliant.
song. That one is in. I think it's in every WCW champion ranked. There's a Randall Sav. So they were good to do. I love doing just random weird stuff like that you don't do every day. It only comes up once in a blue moon. So just make the most of it and make it as funny as possible.
You know, you struggled to answer that question earlier. What makes your editing style different? I think adding the jokey stuff is what makes your editing style different.
Well, I have to say the credit really goes to the writers. The credit goes to the writers.
But adding the animations for the jokey stuff.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I try. Thank you. I try to make it.
Give yourself some credit, man.
Oh, Tom, thank you very much. I try, unless it's like a very serious, informative list, I do try and get the jokes in there as much as possible, just to catch people off guard with some funky Randall Keefe or whatever's going to go on.
Right. If I'm being honest, man, I think that's a lovely way to end it. So
okie dokie.
I will say, if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Obviously, check out the Cultaholic Boys if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. We are on the road to 500 subscribers by the end of the year.
Subscribe.
So please subscribe.
Hit the button below. All that stuff.
And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.